Hey there and happy Wednesday. Yes, I was just telling my husband it feels like it's a Friday because the week has been that long already, and also because I had my grandkids here for a little bit this afternoon because school got out early for the Minnesota education break, and so it kind of feels like Friday, but yet I have a lot more I want to accomplish. And harvest update, we have all of our crops done. Beans are harvested, corn is harvested, and so the guys have their tillage work and all their fall things to do yet, but it allows me to be back here with you guys, and I'm so thankful for that. And I'm also thankful just for cleaning my house. Like, nobody loves to clean their house, but it's such a good feeling, and so I'm looking forward to just finishing that up too, so that I can be back on my regular schedule. All right, so that's my update, and now to the fun card. So the Party Piggy went from online exclusive now to last chance. So let me get my camera flipped around and show you how to make this fun shaker card here, and then I will also update you on the prices of things as well, since the prices changed when it went to last chance too. Okay, so here is the fun shaker card, like I said, and because it's an online exclusive, I always like to give you a good look at what is included with the stamp set. Lots of very cute and fun sentiments. I am so proud of you. Let's party. What shakin' bacon? Some confetti. Happy birthday to you, the pig, party hat, and that. I remember sitting at the Stampin' Up! Event in March, and this was going to be coming out, I think, in April-ish for online exclusive. And I say that because a lot of times people say or ask me, how long do online exclusives stick around? And especially like those awesome everyday arches, they've been around since, gosh, I want to say January. They're still good, so don't worry. But then something like this comes and goes a little quicker. So that gives you an idea of, I don't know. And that just confirms I don't know. And so these dies are packaged a little bit smaller than the normal case size. And in here we've got the circle that makes the shaker die. Hi there, Sherry. Good to see you on here. The pig body, the pig head, the party flag, and the party hat. So we will actually use not only quite a bit of the stamp set, but all of the dies to make today's card. And with all of that, oh, this is what I want to let you know. Since before I came live, I took the time to look. So this bundle was originally $38.50. You can still, even though it got moved to last chance for $30, it's still on there for $38.50 as a bundle. But if you buy the stamp set and put that just individual number in there separately, then the individual number of the dies. So don't bundle this, guys. Do not bundle. Do not bundle, because if you put in these two things separate, it comes to $26.10 right now instead of $38.50. So that is my fair warning. Do not bundle. And every once in a while, Stampin' Up! Does that when they move things to last chance. Bundles $38.50, buy them separately for $26.10. All right, and for those of you that think, oh, these small shaker domes are just so fun, well, like, you can take one of our circle punches or the die from here and make shaker cards. Somebody was just saying, oh, let's make shaker cards out of the cute little Halloween cauldron and just put the shaker card things in there for the elements. So small circle shaker domes were $8. Now they're just $4.80. Hi there, Amy. Good to see you on here. And then the other part that kind of makes this card fun is the loose shaker elements that I'll be using. They were $7.50 for the container, marked down to $4.50. So even if you like loose shaker elements and maybe don't care for the bundle, that's a really good price. So almost half price on both of those items. So wanted to pass that along to you. I'll get this crunchy stuff out of here so it doesn't make noise. And I think that's it. No, I was going to say, I think that's it for sales. I couldn't find my package where this fits in, but this is the Full of Life from the 6x6 Designer Series paper. Lots of these bright colors, squares, and different things. If you remember, lots of green and just bright, fun things with the Full of Life suite when that came out. So this 6x6 pack, normally $12.50, is still on last chance. It has been for a while. It's $8.75. So I like to let you know when there are discounts on our products. Okay, so I'm just going to set this aside for now, and I'm going to do some stamping. And let me, I think I'm actually going to do it this way. So I'm going to do my stamping with the Memento Black, because we're going to do a little bit of coloring also with the blend. So I want to make sure that that gets colored well. I'm just going to stamp this Piggy, cute pig face on here, like so. Got that. And then the body, I'm going to ink that up, like so, and just do that on here, like that. All right. And, well, I'm going to set that aside, and let's just do all the stamping. So we're going to need, eventually, a party hat. So I'm just going to ink that up in the Memento Black as well, here. And then the cute little flag, party flag. Kind of reminds me of like the checkered flag at races. Okay, so we've got that there as well. Okay, so I've got that going. I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to bring over my cut and emboss machine here. And we're going to run these guys through. Here's the face, and here's the body. Yes. Just have to look for that cute little springy tail there. Gonna line that up like so. And then this also like that. Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna pop that through here. So you'll have to say in the comments, do you guys do anything extra special when it is what I'm still calling MEA weekend, when there's the education break in the middle of October? I don't know, Amy's joining. I don't know if all states do that this weekend or not, but I still feel sometimes like a little kid, like I need to do something special and different when it's that weekend. So it is kind of a funny feeling. Okay, so for the card, with it being a shaker card, I'm going to need an extra one of just the body there. So I'm going to put that guy on there. It's easier, much easier, when I don't have to line him up. And I can just set him on Petal Pink. I should give the name of that. This obviously is basic white. Just going to squeeze that right in the insert of that. Okay. Maybe. Kind of wants to jump, so I'm just gonna maybe try it over here. I don't know if you're like me, like, do I spend more time trying to get more going through at one time, or would it take even less time to just do it one at a time and not worry about lining things up? So you never know. All right, and the flags moved a little bit, so as it went through, I'm gonna see, actually that looks like it'll still be okay. Good enough. Sometimes if it's not, I will redo it, even though it's just the card I'm making for me, for you guys. All right, and then this is just plain. It'll make more sense as I put it through too. All right, so that I'm gonna just set aside. So we're all done die cutting there. All right, and let's start to build the card. I think what people seem to like most about this card, because I always listen for comments so that I know what they like, what they don't like, so that I either do things again or don't do things again. So they loved the fun, bright colors. And for the color combination here, I have Granny Apple Green and Balmy Blue, because I wanted to try and bring in some of those colors here. And of course, the pig was going to be the pinks that kind of fit in there too. So I've always loved this combination, and red always looks great with this combination too. It always pops. So I just kind of started with that basic background, and it kind of looks like nature. I think that's why it appeals to so many people. You think of the green grass, the sky blue, things like that. And so that's why this works well together. So the embossing folder that I'm using for this is the Soft Waves 3D embossing folder. I should have mentioned that. Sometimes I forget when these are leftover pieces from my classes. All right, and now this piece is 2 inches by 4 inches, and so I'm putting it on Granny Apple Green 2 1/4 inches by 4 inches, just so we have kind of that 1/4 inch sticking out on the top and the bottom like that. And now this is ready to go, and I want to get my adhesive pretty close to the edges here because it is a 3D embossing folder that I'm putting it on, and sometimes that wants to pop up or do something silly like so. So I'm just going to get that going on there right across there. There we go. Okay, so now let's color in the cute little piggy here. Yeah, this one's a little bit more intense as far as the timing that it takes to do this. So this is Petal Pink for my Stampin' Blends on Petal Pink cardstock, but it still shows up. I am using the darker, so maybe that is why, but that works out fine. I'm just going over the ear here, and I think, oh, I'm just going to go out over the mouth a little bit too. All right, so that's all I need to do with the Petal Pink. And then I'm going to grab some Smoky Slate, and this is actually the dark. I thought sometimes when I color on cardstock, that isn't basic white, and it's got, you know, the pigment in the cardstock and such, and even the textures, sometimes I like to go like a shade darker. If I was coloring this pig on white, I'd probably just use the light Smoky Slate, but because I kind of have to fight on layering color on color for something like this, then I switch to the dark, just so that we get a good coverage of the color that we want to show up. So I'm just going to go over all the little pig feet and then those little circles there with the Smoky Slate. Okay, so now this guy is ready to go. Oh, what I forgot to do, well, I thought I was done cutting. We need to cut a circle out of the tummy here. All right, this is the time where if you're making this card and you have to think through that when you mail this card, it's got that much bulk to it, okay? I like to show that on camera because a lot of people love the look of the shaker card and the domes, but then they kind of wonder, okay, what am I gonna do with that for mailing it? And some people are like, oh, this is great, I have my grandson's birthday party coming up, they'll tell me, and so I can just hand deliver it, and that works out great too. But it's definitely something that you have to think over before you mail it, like either pad it, put it in a bigger envelope, like a bubble mailer or something like that, or hand deliver. Okay, so this is, or this like, I'm having a squirrel moment. Okay, or what you can do is just not do that circle cutout and make your card just flat without the shaker element, and it would still be a super cute card even without that bubbling up. Okay, so now to get this prepped, both the dome shakers have this on the top and on the bottom. So I'm going to take the top one off first, and then that's going to just sit right in there, and then I press all the way around the edge. You want to make sure that you get a good press so that it takes to it, so that way when you add these fun elements and they're like that, then you know, I'm going to add a little bit more, that it's going to seal up and you're not going to lose any pieces because it didn't seal well. Okay, so now that you have the elements in there, now you can go ahead and take off that next layer that's on the top side. And then what you do, and I always tell people, be really sure and really careful, like line this up well, because this is not glue, this is super strong adhesive, and so you want it to just sit really well on there. Press down, not too firm where you're going to press your finger up through that cute little dome, but press well after that, and then now this piece is together and you have secured those pieces in there very well. So now this is ready to go on the card. So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive. This is going to stay flat. on there just because this is bulky enough. We don't want to or need to pop that up. But the head, I think the cute pig's face should be popped up. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on that. And of course I was drawn to this. I don't know if I've told you this before. We raise hogs. And so when this came out, I thought not only is it cute, but it's like perfect for us, right? Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit more coloring here, and to pull together the Granny Apple Green and the Balmy Blue, those are the shades of the Stampin' Blends that I've used. So for the hat, I'm going to start with the dark Granny Apple Green. Usually when it's little tiny stripes like this, I'm like, you know, that's just good enough. Oops, I'm going to go over these tops of the flags. Wherever the Stampin' Up! Image gives me like that little extra hash mark or whatever, I feel like they are saying that needs to be darker. So that usually I go dark on the bottom, but because it's like that, then I do it the way the artist intended. I'm going to fill that in. But back to my hat, usually when the stripes are so little, I just think, okay, just doing every other color is fine. But I feel like it really shows up. The hat's just big enough overall that you do get the fun look of going darker to lighter as it goes up on the hat. And I thought it added enough of an effect in a fun way that it was worth doing the extra time to add that one extra stripe, guys, one extra stripe of the dark green. And this is the dark Balmy Blue. And same thing, I'm going to add like a couple stripes. We're talking 2 stripes for this to go on the bottom there. And then I'll switch to light Balmy Blue here. And I'm going to fill in 2 extra stripes. And then these little plumes. And I always feel like if you go out of the lines with the plumes, it just makes it look fun. I didn't this time. Sometimes I do on purpose, sometimes I do on accident. Can't we all relate, right? I felt like this was good enough, but I think since I have my scissor here, I'm just going to kind of trim on down there so it doesn't look like such a big gap, but instead it looks pretty intentional for that. Maybe even across the top here a little bit. I don't know if you ever do that, if you put a die and it's like not terrible enough to have to redo, but if you just trim off the extra, it makes it fine. So there I have like given you some tips on how to save something. Okay, now I kind of want this popped up, but obviously it's going to be kind of hard to pop that up with that little thing, but we don't need to do that. So I'm just telling people at the class, just put one dimensional there, and then just kind of maneuver it underneath the hand, both of those hands. They're holding it. So it's still popped up, and because that's being held in place really well, it's not going to move out from underneath the hand. So we don't have to put any adhesive, not even a glue dot underneath there. And then for this little guy here, I'm actually going to put just like a mini dimensional up there in the puff ball there of that. And then because some of this is going to sit on the head of the pig, I'm just going to put some adhesive on the lower half. So dimensional on the top, adhesive on the bottom, and then I can just kind of put that at an angle. I'm going to put it on light because my next step is the sentiment. So I'm going to pull over, I don't know if this is big enough. Nope, I'm going to pull over a strip here of the Granny Apple Green, and let me measure that for you. It looks like this is 3/4 inch Granny Apple Green. What's shaken bacon? I just love how fun that is. There's also, you know, I am so proud of you. Happy birthday. Let's party. So those would work as well also. And I'm just gonna oops, that did not go well. Okay, and then I'm just gonna get that about the same on that side too. Okay, now this, I did pop that up. I was just trying to look here to see if I did. So I'm going to put a couple dimensionals here on that. Notice I didn't go quite to the edge. That way, if I need to tuck it underneath my party hat, it'll be good to go. All right, so what's shaken bacon? And I'm gonna kind of try and get it so the ear isn't blocking the question mark. And kind of tilt it down. There we go. And now I can finish with my party hat here, and it is like double pop because of this, but like I said, I didn't put that dimensional all the way to the edge. It just kind of fills in that space around the sentiment there, and I've got the ear sticking out there, so it just kind of barely fits, but it works, guys. So like I said, there's a lot going on with the card, but I still think it comes together really, really fun. And don't we all need birthday cards? So for the inside, I'm just going to do my regular 4 by 5 1/4, and then do the happy birthday to you. And you could also put the let's party on there if you wanted to, or you know, switch those out too. And I think I'm just going to come back with the party hat from the front and restamp that, and that's going to go in the bottom corner there too. So whenever I do cards like this at classes, or have that be one of the projects, I don't do them at the class, people do. Oops, I got some black on there, so I'm going to avoid that area. Take my rag here and wipe that off. My black pads have been so juicy, and I've actually been storing them so they're not upside down, because I kind of want the ink to settle to the bottom. All right, but anyway, when I do my in-person classes, and there's a card like this that takes a little bit more time, there too I try and gauge, like, okay, make sure that not all 6 cards are as time consuming, and then also gauge the reaction of that. Did they think that was worth it to spend a little bit more time on the card and such? But the people have been really loving this. That's why I want to show you another sample quick before it is gone, because like anything, when it's on last chance, and like I said, the dies are marked down a little bit, I never know how long it's going to be before they're gone. But as you can see there, now close up, the gradient from dark to light on the hat really shows up. I think it just adds fun. Same with the flags. I kind of felt like that showed up pretty well too. All right, there we've got that. Oh, and Donna says it has extra postage on it. Yes, definitely. So you could do that. And what I do when I'm not sure, I have my own postage machine here at home, but for something that's just awkward, I bring it right to the window at the post office and have them help me with that. So there you go. I will post a link of all the supplies used to make the card, so that you have that link. And I think what I'm going to do, some of you actually do, after I post the link of the still shot and see the different products used to make the card, sometimes then excuse me, still suffering from the allergies in the combine. Sometimes you guys will just add to cart. So for the Party Piggy, I'm not going to put the bundle on there. I'm going to put the 2 separate line items so that there's no confusion about what is going to be the cheapest. So that will help you out too if you're interested in ordering that. Or sometimes you just love the idea. If you like the layout of the fun paper and you have bright paper and think, what can I do with that? And love copying that. That's what I love to hear too, is that you guys are getting ideas to use your things with my layouts and such too. So take care. I hope to be back again tomorrow, because my day should be quiet enough to do that for you guys. So take care, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.